What's going on, YouTube? Dirty Bird Nation. It's your boy Intergalactic Brew once again. I know I said I wasn't gonna make another video, but I just got to get something off my chest again. This is just one of those speak my mind videos again. Okay, and this is directed like strictly towards the Falcons fans, and most notably to my fellow Dirty Bird Nation brethren, Sports Live in the ATL. Okay, I'm gonna cut right down to the chase. Okay, first of all, okay, I understand that us as fans, we want to see our team win in certain ways and in impressive ways, and I do too. Okay, but we also have to understand as fans, and I know a lot of us still might not even understand this still, but all the smart, uh, honest Falcons fans out there, if I can use that term, um, we have to take this into account. Okay, number one, we have got to stop over expectating on our team. Okay, we know that our team, the Atlanta Falcons, have all the components to win a Super Bowl, and we do. And you're right, Sports Live and ATL. You are exactly right. We have all of the components in the world on our team to win a Super Bowl, maybe more than one. Okay, but then again, at the same time, let's not take nothing for granted either. Okay, I know it would have been nice yesterday to see our team just completely mash the Minnesota Vikings and probably have like a 24-0 or a 30 to something 7 score. Yeah, that would have been all well and good. Okay, but at the same time, let's celebrate a win. Let's be fortunate. You know what I'm saying? Let's appreciate a win, because a win is a win. Okay? Yeah, it was some mysterious calls that led to Minnesota getting back in the game. More importantly, that on that kick return where the ball bounced off of Dominique Frank's hip. That's who the player was that the ball bounced off of. Sports Live in the ATL. It was not Chris Owens. It was Dominique Franks. And so yeah, like I said, stuff like that happens. Stuff like that we cannot control. But I do agree with your point, Sports Live in the ATL. I do agree with your point that we have to be aware where the ball is. But then again, at sometimes, to be fair, when you're in the heat of the moment, you're not thinking about where the ball's gonna land. The only thing that you're thinking about on special teams is you beating that defender to stop the return man. That's the only thing that you're thinking about. Now, your instinct, sure, they should kick in and should be like, okay, well, let me make sure I don't make any contact with this ball. Because if I make any contact with this ball, it's going to be considered a live ball. And if the return team, if anybody on the return team catches it, then, they have a chance to take it back to the end zone and score. Okay? So, I do see your 50-50 logic on that, Sports Live and the ATL. But then again, at the same time, you gotta understand, man. It's just some things we cannot control. Okay. So number two is that I understand everybody's upset about the defensive scheme on 4th and long when they decided to go for it. But y'all have to understand, okay? The coordinators are the guys that orchestrate these plays, okay? The players don't call their own plays, okay? And sometimes I think us as fans, we get so caught up and so are so emotionally charged into the game that we really forget, who's operating this stuff. I could see if the players were calling their own plays, but they don't. The players don't call their own plays. The defensive coordinator and the offensive coordinators are the men who, develop these game plans and these schemes. Okay? So, we have to understand that that was Brian Van Gorder's call to send Curtis Lofton, into coverage to cover Percy Harvin, which was stupid. I mean, I said that in my previous video yesterday after the game. I said it was a stupid call by Brian Van Gorder. He was a damn fool for sending Curtis Lofton, a guy who isn't all that fast, with all due respect, than Percy Harvin. So, maybe you should have sent a safety, maybe somebody like James Sanders or somebody to cover Percy Harvin, but not Curtis Lofton. That's not his forte. He's not athletic enough like that. It's only a rare few that actually have that athletic ability as a middle linebacker. But anyway, so yeah, let's not put too much of the heat on Curtis Lofton. That was more so a bad play call. And Sports Live in the ATL, we have to recognize that. We have to recognize that these players aren't doing this by themselves. It's people telling them what to do out on that field. And we have to, come back to reality and understand that. Because we get so emotionally charged into the game and we want our team to win so bad, that we kind of separate ourselves from the reality of things. So that was basically, like I said, a bad call by Brian Van Gorder to do that. And, another good thing Sports Live in the ATL brought up, I didn't even notice it because I was so locked into the game. I didn't even notice that Brent Grimes was not even in the game. That might have been another reason, why that touchdown was so easy for Percy Harvin. And that probably might have been the reason why Brian Van Gorder sent Curtis Lofton to cover Percy Harvin, because we didn't have our best cornerback out there. I did not realize that Brent Grimes was not in that game. I know I had heard something early in the week about how he had injured his knee in practice or something, but I'm praying and hoping that he gets healed and he'll be able to play this Sunday, because we're really going to need him more than ever. We're going up against some extremely explosive receivers in Andre Johnson and Jacoby Jones. So we're really gonna need Brent Grimes this coming Sunday. So yeah, I didn't even notice that. So that probably might have been another reason. But I mean, still though, Curtis Lofton should have been up there at the line of scrimmage, trying to get pressure on Christian Ponder and get that ball from him. There is no way he should have been dropping back into coverage to cover a much faster receiver as Percy Harvin. So yeah, that's Brian Van Gorder's fault. I know, the unfortunately, the players are going to get most of the blame, but in reality, the blame is actually on the guy who's calling the plays, and that is Brian Van Gorder. So yeah, that's on his part. And and like I said, we can't get so not over expectated. I should say we can't put so many expectations on our team. Sometimes we just have to be satisfied with what we do accomplish. Because, if you put too much expectations on your team, sometimes, that puts a little bit too much weight on their shoulders. And then once they can't exceed to those expectations, then everybody's devastated and disappointed. You know, that's why, you know, when we play these teams that, you know, are quote unquote less superior than we are, my whole mindset of those type of games is that, you know, just beat them how you beat them. You know, it doesn't matter if it's a blowout. It doesn't matter if it's, you know, 27-7 or something like that, or 30-4, or not even 30-4, or 30-7. You know, just win. Just beat them how you beat them. Just win how you can win, or just win big. We'll just go with that. Just win big. It doesn't have to be a blowout, but just win big. Because, I mean, a blowout is not guaranteed. I mean, I know a lot of people, you know, want to see blowouts and everything, and I know that's good, you know, for bragging rights and good for people's egos and stuff like that. But, you know, the bottom line is, you know, blowouts are very hard to come by. Much like victories altogether in the NFL are hard to come by. You know, if you can blow a team out, then good for you. Kudos. You know, but if you win big, that's, you know, that's just as good as a blowout. You know, and I think that's what, you know, a lot of these teams, that's how a lot of these teams lose to, you know, these teams that are less superior than them, because all they're thinking about is dominating the game instead of just winning the game in the big way. And I think that's been our mindset. I mean, sure, we haven't blown out Carolina. Sure, you know, we didn't blow out the Vikings. You know, we didn't even, you know, we didn't even blow out Seattle. But, I mean, you know, Seattle is kind of an exception because, you know, they're just a resilient team. And especially we were playing at home, you know, they were going to come out and they were going to give it their best. So, I mean, but we still won the game. That's all that matters, you know. So I think what we have to get away from is we have to stop, you know, putting too many expectations on this team and just be satisfied and just be grateful for a victory. Because, you know, it's hard to come by. And, you know, I think that's what you have to realize too, Sports Live in the ATL. You have to realize that. I know you want to see the Falcons win in a dominant way. I know you want to see them put all of these huge points up on the board. But, you know, to quote something that David Archer was saying when he was interviewing Mike Smith yesterday, I was looking on Falcons.com, and I was listening to the post-game interview he had with Mike Smith. Something very potent that he said, and that was, you know, the other team's getting paid to play too. You know, the Minnesota Vikings, they're a professional team too. I mean, you know, and it's already bad enough that they didn't have their best player, their best offensive player, which is Adrian Peterson, number one, and then their entire season has been such a mess. You know, they're going to come out and they're going to compete. You know, they're not going to lay down. They're just one of those teams that are not going to be easily phased, no matter who they are. They could care less that we're the Atlanta Falcons. They could care less that we had a 13-3 record. They could care less about that. They wanted to come in our dome and beat us and shock us. That's what they wanted to do. Okay? They could care less about all that nostalgia and accolades that we have. And none of that didn't matter to them. Okay? So yeah. So basically what I'm saying is that, you know, let's stop, you know, putting too many expectations. And I'm talking to the Dirty Bird Nation as a whole. You know, let's stop putting too many expectations on this team. Yes, I want this team to win a Super Bowl. No doubt about it. And I still believe we can do it this year. Okay? Number two, I still do believe that we can repeat and win the division again. Okay? Number three, I still believe that we can beat both the Saints and the Green Bay Packers. And the reason why I believe that we can beat those teams is because, number one, we're not scared of them. And number two, we can get to Aaron Rodgers and to Drew Brees. We've done it before. It's just the simple fact that, this year we were so eager to beat these teams. And I know that it was the case for the Green Bay Packers game because of what they did to us last year in the playoffs in the Dome. So I know that, that competitive intensity and that eagerness to, just put them away as quickly as possible. I know that was the reason why we lost that game. And we cannot come into a game with that mindset. We cannot. We cannot come into a game, being so eager and being so just so hell bent, on just doing as much as we can to make sure they can't get back in the game. Because they're the world champs, y'all. That's just the reality of it. I know some of y'all Falcons fans don't want to hear that, but this is the reality. They are the world champions of the NFL. Okay, so they are going to find a way to adjust and come back in the game. There's nothing we can do about that. Aaron Rodgers is probably the best quarterback in the NFL. So he's going to find a way to get his team back into the game. There's nothing we can do about that. The only thing we could do is try to stop it. That's the only thing we can do. Okay? And I just wanted to clear the air about that. All right? But if we do get the Green Bay Packers next time, let's not set our sights on just putting them away or blowing them out or whatever. Let's just focus on beating them. Let's just focus on winning the game. Let's just forget about them being the world champion Green Bay Packers and forget about their undefeated streak. Forget about that. Let's just go out, let's just have fun, play how we know how to play them tough, make them earn everything they get, and let's go out and let's just beat these guys. Let's not focus on blowing them out. Let's just focus on going out and winning the game. The same thing with New Orleans. When we go down to New Orleans next month, let's just worry about beating the New Orleans Saints. Let's not worry about, we're going to get revenge on these guys and, we're just going to hit them as hard as we can and try to injure them and all this other stuff and blow them out and make sure they don't have no reason to make it a close game. All right? So let's not get into that, that vengeful mindset. Because when we do, we're going to lose. That's just the reality of it. If we're so focused on getting revenge on the Saints and the Packers, instead of beating them, just going out and just winning the football game against them, we are going to lose. Bottom line. And that's the same thing that goes for you, Sports Live in the ATL. And if you were a smart man, which I believe you are, you would take the same mindset that I'm taking right now. And I'm just being real with you, bro. I'm just being real with you, man. And I hope when you see this video, I hope you can understand and, compromise with where I'm coming from. Because I'm just telling you how I feel. But in a sense, this is, reality too. I mean, you can't go out trying to get revenge on somebody. You can't. I mean, yeah, we had the Saints where we wanted them. Mike Mularkey and Mike Smith made a bad call in the game. Okay, we could have done the quarterback sneak and got that last little inch of yardage. Okay, but the bottom line is we let it get away and the Saints won. Now, I'm not saying I'm happy about it. Oh, no. Deep down and in the back of my mind, I'm still pissed off, royally pissed off about that game. Because I had to hear, a whole bunch of rhetoric from my best friend who was a Saints fan. And I had to hear crap from him last year when we lost to the Packers. Okay? And I don't like that. I don't like hearing people say, my team is not built to win big games. I don't like people saying that. I take that kind of personal. because I know where we can win big games. You know, I know we have the mental toughness, and I know we have the skill to win big games. So that is not any, you know, that's not even the point. Okay, so screw what he says. But anyway, all I'm saying, and I'm about to wrap this up. All I'm saying, Falcons fans, Sports Live in the ATL, let's not expect too much. And when I say too much, I mean, like, you know, let's not put so much on our team that they can't handle. Okay? Let's just not, you know, put too much weight on their shoulders. Because after all, they are human beings, and, you know, there are good teams out there, and even the teams that aren't that good, they still show guts, and they still show courage, and they still come out and compete. Okay? So, you know, let's not put too much expectation on our team. Let's just put enough expectation to where they can excel. Okay? Let's aim to go to the Super Bowl. That is something that I think we can excel to. Let's get in the playoffs, first of all, before we think about any type of Super Bowl. So let's put the horse before the cart instead of the cart before the horse. Okay? So let's just think about winning the rest of these games, first of all, you know, and securing a playoff spot. And then after that, you know, let's worry about winning the playoffs, then going to the Super Bowl. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And oh yeah, and one last thing. Be grateful for the wins that we do have. Okay? Because they're not easy to have in the NFL. Let's just be grateful, and let's just be gratifying for the victories that we do have. You know, and again I say, we don't have to blow everybody out. You know, especially the less superior teams than us. We don't have to blow those teams out. We just have to win big. Okay? But I thank you all for taking the time out to watch this video. For those of you that are Sports Live in the ATL, most likely, man, you know, I'm asking you, you know, watch this video and just listen. And like I said, just try to understand where I'm coming from, man, because I know you are. You know, we both love the same team, and, you know, you seem like you're, you know, a real considerate, not compromising, but, you know, a negotiable guy. So, just listen, you know, to my video, watch it, and tell me what you think about it, and just try to understand. Okay? So that's gonna do it for me. This is the official last time that I will be making a video for this week. I'll probably make another video probably at the end of the week for the Texans game, but we'll see. But with that being said, everybody enjoy the rest of your week. Go Falcons, good win Sunday, and go Giants. Beat them Saints, because they not all that. For real. Peace.